Hi everyone, welcome back to Take Off Together. My name's Hannah. Today we are talking about Golubac's fortress, which if you are following my vlogs, you know I recently visited with my boyfriend Moma on our East Serbian road trip. Golubac's fortress is located on Europe's Danube River, connecting the bordering countries of Serbia and Romania. This medieval fortress was built sometime around the 14th century and is split into 3 compounds, which were built in stages. Many battles were fought here, especially between the Ottoman Empire and the Kingdom of Hungary. It changed ownership a lot, passing between Turks, Bulgarians, Hungarians, Serbs, and Austrians, until 1867, when it was turned over to the Prince of Serbia, Mihailo Obrenović III. Now it is a popular tourist attraction in the region and a sightseeing point for the Danube River. When visiting the fortress, make sure to wear active sports shoes. Active sports shoes because I was wearing these boots, which have plenty of tread on them. I would be able to hike anywhere, but at the ticket center they are very specific. In order to climb to the upper parts, you must wear running athletic shoes like these. If you forget, no worries, because the lower level is very big with many passageways, rooms, and amazing views. After receiving your ticket, you can walk into the information space where they put on presentations on the history of the fortress. We went to one in Serbian, so Moma was translating it to me afterwards. I learned that they don't know exactly who built the fortress, and that the name Golubac has the Serbian word golub in it, which means pigeon in English. Which makes sense because we saw a few pigeons perching around the fortress, but I seriously can't imagine back when there wasn't any protective glass, they must have been flocking and shitting everywhere. Speaking of shitting, I started to play a game of how many toilets we could discover. They are in the most random places, like I was climbing up the stairs of this beautiful fortress tower. By the way, the stairs are very steep and only one person can go up at a time. But I was going through all the rooms, reading the information cards, and then I'd look over and there'd be a medieval toilet just exposed to the rest of the room. Back to the name Golubac. A popular myth is from a beautiful Serbian girl. I mean, what Serbian girl isn't beautiful? I can just say from a Serbian girl named Golubana. Pretty girl, not so pretty name. They say a local Turkish pasha fell in love with her, but she, knowing she was hot, loved a young Serbian man and rejected all the proposals and expensive gifts from the pasha. Obviously, he got pissed and proceeded to take her down in a boat and imprison her in a tower. That's the nice version. He could have tied her to a rock above the river and left her there until she died. The legend isn't clear on that one. As in the case with many fortresses, Golubac's structure was modified over time. For years, there were only 5 towers. Later, 4 more were added. The towers were all built as squares, a sign of the fortress's age, showing that battles were still fought with steel. But once firearms came into use, the Turks upgraded the western towers with cannon ports and polygon or cylinder reinforcements up to 2 meters or 6 feet thick. Nobody's gonna blast through these walls. The fortress was such a desired spot because of its ideal location on the Danube, which was the main highway of its day. Basically, the fortress was an equivalent to a modern-day toll booth, allowing for the regulation and taxation of traffic across and along the river. This was done with a long, strong chain connected to Babakai, a rock on the far side of the river. I would recommend you visit the fortress yourself, and I'll leave you with a few fun facts. From the late 19th century into the early mid-20th century, blood-sucking flies, sometimes referred to as Golubac's mosquitoes, thrived in this area. They were particularly dangerous to livestock, some years killing off entire herds of cattle. Between 1964 and 72, a hydroelectric dam was built in the Iron Gate Gorge. Of course it was. Just south of the fortress, significantly elevating the river's water level. As a result, the lower edge of the slope and corresponding parts of the fortress are now flooded. If you do visit, make sure you leave a charming and politically charged note in the visitor's notebook like someone here did. I have a new outro! Let's take off together by taking care of ourselves, others, and the earth. Peace, love, and happiness. Subscribe and never stop exploring. Bye!